Atlanta continues to own the offensive glass here in the fourth quarter. Great board.
You lost. You failed. Loser! I don't even play basketball and I would have made that shot. And even if I didn't make that shot, I'd have did something funny. You know, I'd have did something funny. Came up and was like, hey, let's hold to this hoop code hand point.
But just 35% from three after a couple years in the 40s. Howard misses that one.
Ryan Howard or Alicia Gray, I think Ryan Howard, airballs a shot to win the game late. It lands in Angel Reese's lap, and collectively the whole world said, yeah, she ain't making that. Collectively, the whole world said, oh, Angel Reese has it? Oh, and it's a layup? Yeah, she's bricking that. And lo and behold, point blank range to win the game, we get a classic Angel Reese pray-up.
She just destroyed her own moment. Angel Reese, positioned to be the undisputed hero of this high-stakes WNBA showdown, instead became the absolute punchline. And that is not an exaggeration. That is precisely what unfolded on the court between the Indiana Fever and the Atlanta Dream, a game packed with enough drama and controversy to fuel a dozen headlines. By the time that final buzzer screamed, Reese wasn't just not celebrating a win. She was standing under the rim, hands on her head, watching Caitlin Clark walk past her, flashing a triumphant smile on her way to yet another statement victory.
Caitlin Clark laughing at Angel Reese after she missed a wide-open layup for the win.
Quarter. Great board, just could not convert it.
Was pushed under the hoop just enough to not have a great angle to OT.
Backslash in, backslash in, backslash in, backslash in, backslash in.
Angel Reese, you had me laughing at you, girl. I told you, Angel Reese is a pure bum, the worst kind. Angel Reese is the type to steal the trash off your curb and try to see if she can go put it in her refrigerator. The girl can't make a layup to save her life. She missed like 7 layups in the first quarter. Meanwhile, me, the GOAT, Caitlin Clark, I'm putting on shows every single night. 26 points, 9 assists. Caitlin Clark and the Indiana Fever humiliate Angel Reese. Or maybe Angel Reese just humiliated herself, as the Indiana Fever go on to win. 29 points, 9 assists.
If you've been wondering why this rivalry absolutely refuses to cool off, why every single matchup feels like an event, this one game gives you the entire, unvarnished blueprint in a chaotic 95 minutes of basketball. It was packed with so many twists, so many jaw-dropping moments, and so much raw emotion that even casual fans who barely follow the WNBA were buzzing about it by the very next morning. This wasn't just a game. This was a defining chapter in the most talked-about rivalry in sports, and it showed exactly why the stakes are so incredibly high every time these two step onto the court.
Because she was crap in this game. A bag of crap. She was awful. Angel Reese was terrible. Speaking of terrible, Angel Reese never beating the allegations. This was to open the game.
With Reese leaking out, finds her.
Lee Sheet, that was awful. Wow, that was awful. One more good time. It did a... Yeah. Yikes.
Backslash in, backslash in, backslash in, backslash in, backslash in.
Caitlin Clark laughing at Angel Reese for missing the game-winning layup. Helen Keller could have made the layup. It was the fucking second layup that she missed. She missed a wide open drive in the first quarter, and then she misses the game-winning layup. And then, of course, we have the halftime crew just glazing Angel Reese, making it seem like she's a better player than Kelsey Mitchell, making it seem like she's a better player than Caitlin Clark. And Angel Reese with the total brick of a three-pointer. No wonder why they left her wide open, misses the layup. Look of disappointment on both her coach and teammates' face when she missed the game-winning layup. At least Angel was honest at halftime with Holly. I was a little bit impressed by that, where she was like, hey, I am playing like shit right now. I really gotta step it up. I will say she is good on defense. She's always good on defense. She's a rebound machine, but she shouldn't shoot the ball so much. This photo just like...
Now let's cut straight to the point where things went from heated to straight up physical, because this didn't begin as some premeditated attack or a culmination of weeks of trash talk. It started Plain and simple, with Angel Reese getting absolutely cooked on defense. Midway through the first quarter, Caitlin Clark pulled up from deep off the dribble, with Reese draped all over her, contesting as tightly and physically as humanly possible, hands in her face, body in position. And the shot just fell anyway, perfectly through the net, ripping through the nylon like a dagger.
In the 40s, Howard misses that one, out of bounds, and it will be Indiana basketball. 4:10 to go in the first, and the Fever lead by 2.
So let's go to Angel Reese clocking Caitlin Clark right in the throat hole.
With just 35.
Right here, you're going to watch. There she gets her in the neck, and there she gets her in the throat. Yeah. What are we doing?
Backslash in, backslash in, backslash in, backslash in, backslash in.
Look at how she hit Caitlin in the neck. Look, watch this. First time, look, second time. Bro, like, what are we doing? And then the refs act like they didn't see it. Like, bro, the refs and...
Holy moly, holy moly. That is the kind of moment that can quietly, subtly, and deeply get under a defender's skin, even if nobody watching in the arena or at home truly realizes the full impact in the moment. You do absolutely everything right defensively. You contest the shot with picture-perfect position. You throw everything you have at it, and the ball still splashes through the net. For a competitor like Angel Reese, a player who has built her entire reputation on being physical, disruptive, and a defensive force, a moment like that doesn't just sting a little. It feels like a personal affront, a direct challenge to her identity as a lockdown defender.
Oh, Caitlin Clark is ridiculous, man, and in my opinion, she's the MVP right now. I mean, this performance for her was just insane, and look at this three right away in Angel Reese's face.
The switch on Reese will fire, and...
It's really off.
Backslash in, backslash in, backslash in, backslash in, backslash in.
He sucks from 3. Boom, whoa! Angel Reese on a layup. Can't score it. She stinks. Look at all these layups missed. The girl is awful. The girl is garbage. Here she comes. I'm going full court. Hey, boom! Get that out of here. She sucks. Here comes Angel Reese coming down the lane again. Uh-oh, spinning and missing another layup. It's missing another layup. Here we go. She's looking for fouls. Here we go, down low. Uh-oh, I'm spinning. I'm missing another layup. The girl is horrible. The girl is terrible at the game. Here we come, coming down the lane. Here we go. I lost it out of bounds. Down low again, another layup opportunity. And she missed it. She's terrible. Here we go for 3. Clank. Here we go. Game on the line. Uh-oh, I can win it. Smoke the layup. Then Nas Hillman follows up and smokes the layup. I mean, you starting to rub off.
Then just a few possessions later, the simmering frustration boiled over. Ryan Howard's shot went up and missed, sending both Reese and Clark scrambling for the loose ball underneath the basket. But here's where it gets absolutely wild. Instead of merely using her body to box out, like in a normal, hard-fought rebounding battle, Reese shoved her forearm straight into Clark's neck to keep her away from the ball. This was not a bump. This was not incidental contact from 2 players jumping and colliding on the way down. This was a clear, deliberate, and undeniably aggressive shove to the neck. The kind of move that gets flagged in almost any other physical contest without a second thought. And get this, it didn't happen in a crowded paint or off in a corner where officials could claim they missed the angle. It happened directly in front of 2 referees, standing right there in full view, under bright arena lighting, with cameras from multiple angles catching every single second of it.
5 seconds. Howard launches. Missed it badly. Reese the putback. Won't go. Hillman, no. And we have...
Backslash in, backslash in, backslash in, backslash in, backslash in.
Did y'all see that game? That was the greatest thing I've ever seen in my entire life. Oh, and it couldn't have happened to a nicer individual. Angel Reese, probably the most despised person in the history of all sports, couldn't get a layup in. She tried the first time, couldn't get it. She tried the second time, couldn't get it. Even her teammates was like, come on, man. The third time at that point, the Fever just backed off. They're like, nah, come on, bro. I mean, we feel bad. Go ahead. She's like, I'm Jordan. No, I'm not. Meanwhile, mother freaking Caitlin Clark was laughing at her. She was like, the camera caught it. They even had to do a double take. She did the moonwalk. She was like, beat it.
A neck, a throat. Clark immediately turned to the officials, arms outstretched, practically begging for a whistle, her expression a mix of disbelief and pain. Anybody watching at home, whether they were a die-hard fan or just tuning in, could see it plain as day. She got absolutely clocked in the neck fighting for a basketball, which is about as textbook of a foul as it gets in any level of this sport. And the referees, they just stood there. No whistle, no review, nothing at all. Reese got away with it clean, and you know what? She knew it too, because she didn't even bother to check if a call was coming her way. She just turned around and kept playing like nothing had happened, jogging back up the floor with the same expression she would have had after a routine defensive rebound, completely unbothered, as if daring the officials to make a call.
Free throws here for Ryan Howard, who's going to resuscitate this game for Atlanta, but Indiana will immediately challenge it. Let's see.
Backslash in, backslash in, backslash in, backslash in, backslash in.
Oh, baby! Yeah! Yeah! I told y'all Caitlin Clark was gonna put on a show versus Angel Reese and show why she's the real MVP. Not no me-bounds, falling everywhere, missing layups everywhere. Angel Reese, your palms were sweaty, knees weak, arms was heavy, was vomit on your jersey already. Mom spaghetti, you're nervous!
The reaction online was immediate, explosive, and not kind to Reese. Clips of the shove spread like wildfire across social media platforms within minutes, racking up hundreds of thousands of views before halftime had even arrived. Even fans who normally try to stay neutral in this rivalry, the ones who insist they just want to watch good basketball without picking a side, couldn't find a way to defend what they had just witnessed. One fan put it bluntly, stating, "Reese is not a rebounder when she has to actually use technique and positioning. She's a player who grabs and shoves when the ball does not bounce her way." Another fan pointed out something that made the whole situation sting even more, noting that just minutes earlier, Clark had scored right over Reese's best contest. So the shove looked less like a hustle play gone wrong and more like raw frustration boiling over in real time. Whatever the actual motivation was, the pattern fans have grown used to seeing from Reese in this matchup was on full display again. Physical, aggressive, and sitting just outside the boundaries of a clean basketball play.
A wide open layup on a fast break is by far one of the most embarrassing things you can do in the sport of basketball. Whether you're in elementary school, middle school, high school, college, professional, WNBA, NBA, it doesn't matter. It's just a terrible look regardless. And then missing a game-winning layup as a big, I'm sorry, you just can't defend some of these things. And I always have Angel Reese's back, but we gotta do better. Yeah, she finished the game with 15 points, 14 boards, and 6 assists. That's an amazing game. But then you look at her splits, she shot 31% from the field. She shot 5 for 16 from the field. As a
Backslash in, backslash in, backslash in, backslash in, backslash in.
Shoots it, airballs it, right into Angel Reese's lap. And you know what everybody said? Collectively, ain't no fucking way. Ain't no fucking... Bricked it. Point blank, with a chance to win the game, bricks it. This is something we see from Angel Reese every single game. Brick City. Earlier in the game, we saw Angel Reese matched up against Caitlin Clark on a screen. Caitlin Clark sees Angel Reese. Oh, this is easy. Step back. Hold up. Hold up. Hold up. Hold up. Easy money.
But here's the thing about that kind of gamesmanship. It only works if it actually changes the outcome of the game in your favor. And on this night, it didn't change a single D*MN thing for Reese. She spent the rest of the first half struggling to find any kind of offensive rhythm, missing shot after shot in the paint that she normally converts without much trouble at all. By the time the dust settled on her shooting night, she had gone 0 for 6 to start the game and finished a dismal 5 for 16 from the field overall. This was a genuinely rough shooting performance for a player who has built her entire reputation on efficiency and physicality around the rim. She still fought hard for boards and finished with 14 rebounds and 6 assists, so it's not as though she disappeared from the box score completely. But the aggression that fueled that neck shove clearly wasn't translating into made buckets, and Clark, seemingly unaffected by any of it, just kept doing exactly what she came there to do: score and win. Backslash in, backslash in, backslash in, backslash in, backslash in. Fast forward to the fourth quarter, and this game had turned into an absolute grind, a brutal battle down the stretch. Alicia Gray was putting together a career night for Atlanta, eventually finishing with an astounding 32 points and the Dream kept clawing their way back, every single time Indiana tried to pull away and put the game out of reach. With the score tied at a tense 81-81 and the clock bleeding down towards zero, Ryan Howard fired up a three-point attempt that missed off the front rim. Reese, fighting for the ball with Aaliyah Boston practically riding on her back the entire way, somehow ripped down the offensive rebound in heavy traffic, securing a second chance. This was Reese's moment. This was the exact kind of play she had been physically imposing herself to create all night long. All she needed to do was finish it clean, put the ball in the basket, and be the hero. Backslash in, backslash in, backslash in, backslash in, backslash in. But she couldn't finish it. With Boston draped all over her, her body practically a second defender, and barely any space to work with, Reese put up a putback attempt that didn't even reach the front rim, clanking off short with 3 agonizing seconds left on the clock. The ball bounced free again, and Naz Hillman scrambled desperately to try to save the possession with a follow-up layup attempt of her own, only for Boston to reach back and swat that one away too. 2 chances, right at the rim, with a golden opportunity to send Indiana home with a devastating loss, and Atlanta could not convert either one of them. All that physical effort Reese put into shoving her way to good positioning, all that aggression, and when it actually mattered, when the game was sitting right there for the taking with the clock about to hit zero, she simply could not finish the play in front of her. Backslash in, backslash in, backslash in, backslash in, backslash in. And this is the part of the night that truly went viral across every platform. As Reese stood under the basket in visible disbelief, surrounded by teammates trying to console her after the missed chance, the broadcast cut to Clark walking back toward the Fever bench. She was smiling. Not a small, polite grin either, but an actual laugh, clearly amused by the wild sequence that had just unfolded in front of her eyes. Maybe it was relief after a stretch of tense, physical basketball. Now here's where things could have gone completely sideways for Indiana, because the game was far from over at that point. Regulation ended tied, and this thing went to overtime, with both teams clearly running on fumes and playing almost entirely on raw emotion and adrenaline at that stage of the night. Backslash in, backslash in, backslash in, backslash in, backslash in. But wait, it gets worse for the Fever. With about 10 seconds left in overtime and Indiana clinging to a slim lead, officials called a foul on Clark that sent Ryan Howard to the free throw line for 3 attempts. Indiana immediately challenged the call, and even the broadcast crew calling the game said out loud on air that they fully expected it to get overturned once officials looked at the replay. It looked soft. It looked like exactly the kind of call that gets reversed 9 times out of 10 in a moment like that. Instead, officials went back to the monitor, reviewed it, and upheld the foul anyway, baffling everyone watching. Howard then calmly stepped up and made all 3 free throws without missing, cutting what had been a comfortable Fever lead down to just 2 points in the blink of an eye. For a moment, it genuinely looked like the referees were about to hand Atlanta a path right back into a game they had no business still being competitive in, after blowing 2 point-blank chances to win it outright in regulation, just minutes earlier. Backslash in, backslash in, backslash in, backslash in, backslash in. This, my friends, looked like pure garbage. Atlanta had no choice but to foul immediately to stop the clock and try to extend the game. And that crucial foul landed right on Clark. She stepped to the line with 9.8 seconds remaining, ice in her veins, and knocked down both free throws without the slightest hesitation, pushing the lead back out to a much more comfortable 4 points at 95-91. Atlanta got one more desperate possession to try something down the floor, and it ultimately went nowhere. Think about this. Clark absorbed a blatant shove to the neck with no call. Then in overtime, officials upheld a shaky, questionable foul call on her that briefly cracked the door back open for the Dream to steal the whole thing. Every single break that could have gone against Indiana did go against Indiana at some point during that stretch, and Clark and the Fever still found a way to close it out when it mattered most. That is the part that should really stick with people watching this rivalry continue to unfold week after week. It is not just that Clark outplayed Reese on the stat sheet, putting up 26 points and 9 assists compared to Reese's rough shooting night. It is that Indiana had to survive a hostile whistle, a hard and questionable foul, and a legitimate second chance for Atlanta to steal the win late, and they still walked out of that building with the result they came for. Backslash in, backslash in, backslash in, backslash in, backslash in. But there is also a bigger picture sitting underneath all of this drama that fans absolutely should not overlook.